Hey, did I mention that I'm a Hollow Knight fan? No, because I only made videos on the Battle Bricks Die of Death, the Hunger Games simulation, and one quote-unquote animation based on a dead meme. Oh well, now I have. And you see, I have beaten Silksong and almost beaten Lost Lace. I said almost! And I thought, hey, why not make a video because Steel Soul mode, or as I like to call it, Steel Silk mode. Now, this video is only Act 1 because there's no way I'm making an hour-long video that takes me multiple weeks to make even if I don't procrastinate. Anyways, with that out of the way, let the games begin! Also, warning, this video contains spoilers for Silksong, so I will speak to you like you're the average player that knows the basic average player stuff that's going on in the game. This video also contains a few flashing lights, so if you are sensitive to that stuff, then I advise going and watching another video. You have been warned. Oh yeah, hi again. This video would be way too long if it was just gameplay, so I'm gonna do the story recap thing that I did in the Battle Bricks Part 2. So yeah, okay, bye! It's the easiest area in the game. The only notable things that happened were that Moss Mother hit me a few times, and then I got both the Moss Berries. Both the Moss Berries, whoops. Also, during script writing, the correction stuff in Word told me to switch moss to my moss, as in the moss in Moss Mother, which would have been weird to say in a video. Anyways. Second easiest area in the game. I left Sherma at the bone door to see what would happen, got lost, found chakra, got a map, got a skill. It's a combination of silk and skill, so I call it a skill. Gave the bell beast some pats, entered deep docks, left deep docks, and then died in that one room with the, like, tramway kind of thing, because one of the two enemies knocked me into lava, and I was on 2 masks of HP, so I died. Video over. Is what I would say if I was a quitter. For more than 3 days. I quit for about 3 days because I died so stupidly. So I'll just give you an intermission for the most accurate representation of what happened. During the days where I didn't try Steel Silk again, I played Die of Death. And also in the middle of while I was playing Die of Death, YouTuber Cut Cafe released a new video, which was nice to listen to while I tried to avoid dying of death. Bro released the Lottle Corp one, which the one person got early access to on complete accident, and then became The Like and The View. Also, I released my silly little Hunger Games video the day before writing the script, or at least the segment of the script, so that's cool. Also, completely unrelated to the poll I released that same day, but, Cut Cafe, if you are for some reason watching this—
Jump scare, new assets!
What? Well then, with this, new look, I guess I can talk— oh my god, I can actually visually express myself via my silly little character, yippee! Anyways, now with that out of the way, I tried again after about 3 days and didn't die to the marrow thinking it was deep tox because of lava. I technically died in Hunter's March to an enemy arena, which was very, very easy on my next attempt. Also, speaking of my next attempt, yeah, so I beat the arena next attempt, which I had to beat the rest of the game up until this point to get to, by the way. 'Cause permadeath mode and all. And it turns out the arena isn't even that hard, so long as you aren't just being an idiot. But after getting Swift Step, I encountered a problem. You see, all 3 lace fights, upon my first few attempts, it took me a while to get past them. Why did I write it like that? But point is, I thought I was going to die to lace, so I wanted to avoid the lace fights as much as possible. So, I had to grind up 500 rosaries to get the simple key so I could access Shellwood via the Wormways, then get to Greymore through there, and then somehow make Lace leave her arena so I could get the Glide Cloak. I forgot what it was called. But then I remembered Greymore has the breakable floor, which you get to via the cloak. Yeah, my original plan was to use Greymore to get to Farfields, but that didn't really work. So, my objective then became to make Lace leave her arena, which means I needed to get to either the Blasted Steps or Sinner's Road. But I completely forgot how to get to Sinner's Road, so I had to get to the Blasted Steps. I literally just said I needed to reach the Blasted Steps. But how are you gonna do that, you might be wondering? You see, reaching it requires me to have the wall climb ability, the wall cling ability, so I had to beat Sister Splinter. Or did I? You see, in a video that I watched where someone tried to do a pacifist challenge, where they just used tools to kill everything instead of a needle, they used a skip, which was actually way easier when you're actually allowed to pogo on the enemy, and it allowed me to get up to an area that is supposed to be only accessible after killing Sister Splinter, which then allowed me to easily get the wall cling and reach the Blasted Steps, so then I could finally backtrack to Far Fields in order to get the Drifter's Cloak. Considering the fact I already knew how to get the Drifter's Cloak, and although I thought that 4th Chorus was going to be hard, they surprisingly were not, meant that I could finally reach the Blasted Steps for real. Now that I had finally progressed far enough into the game, I slowly made my way up the Blasted Steps to the Citadel. Slowly climbing. I found Chakra, but was too poor for a map. Eventually, I fell into a pit. Pretty sure I needed to leave. I happened to be caught in one of the attacks of one of those wall-clingy spider enemies. But fortunately, I was still on 1 mask of health, so I just simply... No! What?! No! No, I did not spend 2 hours doing all that just to get trick-shotted by some random No. I failed. So close to the goal. No, I never had the needle in, and I was probably gonna fight the other end of Act Boss instead, but I was so close to Act 2. To the end. I failed. Now all I can do is join the other lost souls in a silken abyss, the place where all champions rest, knowing they failed to be champions in the first place. No. No. I'm not letting it end like this. I may have failed, and I may be bad at the game just because I can't beat Act 1 just because it's on permadeath mode. But ever since I beat the OG Hollow Knight, Steel Soul mode has just been silently taunting me there, telling me that I'm not good enough just because I refuse to try. But this ends today! If Just Happened Undertale have taught me anything, even if it's me completely misinterpreting stuff and gaslighting myself, It's that even if all hope is lost and I burn in despair, I can still save this world. Because it's not over till it's over. Whether I persist to prove myself to others or to prove something to myself, I don't know. Perhaps I'm doing it simply out of boredom because I can. But my motivations do not matter. I may take some lines from other people and turn them into my own, but I shall fail more times than you may ever try, and yet here I'll stand. So, for real this time, round 2. Let's finish this! Now, with this determination driving me forward, I failed again and deleted the footage. Yup, I died to a fat mite in Greymore. However, this does not matter and shall be discarded. I just kind of started again. I will see this through to the end. You see, I actually made a bit of a plan for my next attempts to make it easier. After my failed attempt with the mite in Greymore, I then used my plan, but when I got to Chakra, I realized, wait a second, I don't think I need these maps, which then allowed me to cut down on the rosaries I was spending, so that way I could get the simple key way faster and actually start making progress. After calming down the Bell Beast and making my way to Deep Docks to get Swift Step, I went back to grind the last about few hundred rosaries I needed for the key. Also, about now in scripting, I realized that I got Druid's Eye every single attempt, I just completely forgot to mention it. So, yeah, remember that. Now, I thought that the warding bell was in Deep Docks. I was completely and utterly wrong. Keep this in mind. And the reason that I need the warding bell is that even if it isn't exactly a good tool, and it still uses up all of the silk for the heal, it doesn't give you that back, it still prevents me from taking damage, which is pretty good in a challenge where I really don't want to be taking damage. Thus, it could technically save the run if I play my cards right. Now, because I was wrong about that, I had to come back to step 4.5, the warding bell step, later. But it wasn't one of the important steps, so I could ignore it if I never even ended up finding the bell. After wasting my time getting to Forged Daughter, I got back on track and went through the Wormways, which I then got really distracted in and went to get the Wanderer's Crest and almost died ending the run. Seriously, why did I do that? No. Okay, that was stressful. Seriously though, why did I even do this? I don't even like the crest. It's like an F tier without the long claw because of the very bad range. I don't even see that much of a difference between the speed of the Wanderer's Crest and the Hunter's Crest. I just don't like it. Also, keep in mind, this is just my opinion, not fact. You can say it's S tier because of fast speed and the fact you have Hollow Knight Pogo, but I still think that it's not that good because of terrible range and my desire to stay away from the enemies so that the run doesn't end. This detour was worthless. I actually got through the Wormways and into Shellwood the next time because I didn't have the stupid crest to get distracted by. I ran to skip Sister Splinter, I got the Walkling, and then went to Greymore, and by extension Bellheart, starting the Widow quest. I then got the Reaper's Crest, and despite my detour to halfway home for literally no reason, I went back to Shellwood, and entered the Blasted Steps, making Laceleaf Arena, so I could finally get the Drifter's Cloak, which I couldn't remember the name for. What was with the accent? Anyways, I killed fourth chorus really easily. First time I did it with any crest other than Hunter's Crest, which was kind of fun. Then I wandered through Greymore to find the Sinner's Road entrance. I also killed Widow before I searched for the Sinner's Road entrance, and she was really easy to kill. Now, if you know about the other secret entrance to Act 2, you might be wondering why I decided to take that route. I'll explain when I get to them. I couldn't find the entrance to Sinner's Road though, so I ended up using the wiki, and the only thing that it gave me in tips that I could actually tell was go up the tower. The only reason it was like that was because I forgot which way was east somehow. I don't know how I did that, but I almost had to restart, making it the closest... Wait, what was I doing? But oh yeah, I ended up making it to Sinner's Road. I almost had to restart, making it to the closest bench, but I managed to heal up and make it to the bench, which I then fixed so that I could sit down and rest. Since I had no map and no memory of how to get to Bylewater, which is my next destination for non-Silksong players, I used the wiki again. I'm sorry, my mind just couldn't remember. Anyways, I made my way into Bylewater, and after killing some enemies that were in my way on the path to Bylewater... you know what, actually, Bylewater is, like, really hated, so I think it deserves its own title card. Ah, yes, everyone's favoritist area in Silksong. Bylewater. This place had me on the brink of death once, which was kind of stressful, but after that I somehow managed to speedrun all the way to the Bellway station, which was right next to my penultimate destination of this video, which actually makes this one of the two shortest segments in the video, which is approx tied with the Moss area. I forgot what it's called, lol. Wow. Yeah, this only took me 3 attempts, though I did somehow dodge a bear trap once. Pretty sure. Anyways, after my 3 attempts at getting through the mist, I managed to get to the secret entrance to Act 2, the exhaust organ, where I can now fight the boss. I refuse to tell the name of the boss just yet for spoiler reasons. As in spoilers for the average player who isn't finding every secret and is just kind of playing through the game normally, but I think my final opponent deserves their own title card. They are the only thing left in my way after all. Phantom, the abandoned Silksong child of redacted for spoiler reasons. Although there is a Silk's memory where Lace calls Phantom her sister, according to the wiki, their gender is unspecified in the English version of the game, so, who is the memory referring to then? I have no idea. Anyways, Phantom has 3 phases in my eyes. Phase 1, where they can stab you, parry, or throw their pin before diving towards it. In Phase 2, they get some form of slam attack where they leave the arena and then slam down whilst coated in a large cloud of smoke, which deals 2 masks of damage in a large area. And then in Phase 3, they repeatedly use their slam attack until the room is filled with smoke, which allows them to easily disappear in and out of the arena to appear elsewhere. Also, the fact that it was getting late when I was recording this meant that I needed to actually start working on the video, so I couldn't, make a bunch of attempts. So, this would be my only attempt. Whether I win or lose and get to actually move on to Act 2 for video, you'll just have to watch and see. Oh, hello there, Phantom. Nuh-uh. Oh yeah, what? Me being confused at places of being confused with the attack. Oh my... I am sorry. Heal. 10 seconds, I need to put on the hat for locking in. The video could be ending right here, right now. I shall free you from this prison. You shall get a place within the... You shall get some place within the PJA cinematic universe. Phantom. I shall... Also, fun fact, Lace is the only enemy in the game whose HP can go into the negatives. Also, there are multiple reasons why I picked to fight Phantom instead of the last jump. First of all, I'm 99% sure Phantom is easier. Because, like, pretty sure Phantom only has, like, 1 or 2 double mask damage attacks. Okay. Side, it is the final phase of the fight, which means that I'm close. And then I parry her, and she just explodes. Worry not, Phantom. I was not speaking lies when I told you you would get a place within the DJA universe. Well, that was quite easy. Just time-consuming. However, I did make a deal during that fight, so it's time to uphold my end of it. Through silk and soul I summon thee!
Model 13, what did you just do?
Oh, simple. I just revived Lace. No, Phantom. How did I forget their name already? Anyways. Also, they're kind of your new roommate and the rest of the crew's new roommate. You should probably tell them about that, by the way.
Understood. Alerting fellow crew members imminently.
Anyways, when I entered the Citadel, it seemed empty. It was just so desolate. And I began to ask myself, have I actually impressed anyone, or was this just all to fuel my ego? To say I've done something that others have done millions of times over as if I'm any good at it. I sat there knowing that I simply hadn't proven anything, other than that I wanted attention. Was this really worth all the effort? But then I remembered. This is the furthest I've made it in either games in Silksong mode. And this is the harder one. Also, I remembered that this was the furthest I've made it without a map in either game as well. So, I may not have proven I'm worth watching or that I'm worth subscribing to, but I've still proven something to myself. And I find that the far greater win out of them. Hi chat, thank you so much for watching this kinda long video till it's over. Heh, see what I did there with the mention of the song. I'm so funny. Editing me here, quickly adding this in. But, well, technically I added the voiceover in editing, but I completely forgot to give credits to I'm pretty sure it's just one composer, though I could be completely wrong. Credits to Tristam for making Till It's Over. So, yeah, just had to quickly add that in. Anyways, I wanted to give some special thanks and credits and whatnot. And it's going to be pretty much unscripted because it's just bullet points and it's the outro and people probably won't watch it. So, thank you to my friend Chaos_057 for some of the art in this video. Thank you to Team Cherry for making Silksong, which is really epic game. They did well. Thank you to Cut Cafe for releasing the Lottle Corp video when I was playing Die of Death that one time. It is purely coincidence, but I just keep bringing it up. Thank you to Hornet for being my vessel within Silksong. And thank you to you for watching this video until the end. I really hope you enjoyed. There's also just an image of the logo for Pizza Game on Roblox. If you haven't voted on the poll that I posted, please do. I need to know what game on that poll you want. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and now to your regularly scheduled outro.